Go where your best prayers take you, unclench the fists of your spirit and take it easy. Breathe deeply of the glad air and live one day at a time. Know that you are precious and learn to trust. Amen. Just a touch more volume. Good morning to all of you, and glad to see everyone this morning. We have a special guest that's going to talk in just a second, and then after she speaks, I hope if you have some questions, I'm going to try to play Phil Donahue for a few minutes with my microphone. So if you've got thoughts and questions for Elaine, I hope you'll ask them. I want to direct your attention really to this morning. We're doing this idea of Sunday first, and Paul and Carrie are leading the charge with lots of our young adult parents and their children to have once a month an idea of mission that includes children. And I know many of you participated this morning that don't have children or have children that are grown. But this Sunday first activity was to pack food for CARM. And then the Knox Rescue Area Mission will deliver that food this next week. But most of the food in this community is delivered another way, and it's by the Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. And Elaine Streno is our guest this morning to talk to us about Second Harvest, but also about poverty and hunger in our area. And I hope if it triggers an idea or two that you'll jump on and ask a question. I want to set Elaine up in this way, though. The lesson we picked for you this morning is a familiar passage I know to all of you from Matthew. But I want to remind you where it came from. Jesus' words. Jesus is repeating words that are familiar actually through the Old Testament many times from the prophet Isaiah. And the concept was a rabbinical concept, a concept of the rabbis that has been promulgated from Jesus' time, before Jesus, and until today. And that is Gemilut Hasidim. It means acts of loving kindness. Deeds of loving kindness. That Jews, Jesus himself, thought it was beholding on him to do these acts. They were not done to curry God's favor. They were not done because someone made you feel guilty. They were not done to kind of earn prestige in the community. They were done because you were Jewish. The Christian church adopted this model of life. This passage is at the heart of who we are, that to be a Christian is to serve in this way. Again, not out of guilt, not out of earning prestige, but because it is our DNA to respond to the needs of the community larger than we are, to the people around us. It would take nothing for me to help you be guilty in about 10 words this morning. We are the richest country that has ever existed, the richest nation that has ever existed in the humanity of the world. We have so much. Often it takes some, though, trigger, doesn't it, for us to respond. And what I'm proposing for you to think about in these next 2 weeks of Thanksgiving, this week, the next week, Thanksgiving week, we'll keep reminding you of giving to Second Harvest. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas about that we respond out of a deeper place. That we continue this journey, but if it's new for you to take it on, that it is your DNA to give and to serve, and to begin to fashion your life in that way. And we fashion St. John's life in that way. And you know, it's not a new concept, and several of us here are working on ways for us to deepen our pilgrimage of service in downtown and the broader community. We've been a community that's been very generous. And that generosity of time and energy and money can be just given again and again in manifold ways. And so I hope we'll find new ways to discover that. So I hope you will help me welcome Elaine Streno. She has been doing this for 20 years plus, and she's an articulate spokesman for those hungry in our community. Elaine, come on up. Is that on?
I think so. Can you guys hear me?
Let's see. Turn it on. Now it does.
Okay. Thanks. I'm so honored to be here when Father Ross asked me. There are so many in this congregation that support Second Harvest in so many ways, and we are so grateful for that. This is the time of year when we are asked to speak about feeding the hungry the most. And I always start out by saying Second Harvest has been in Knoxville's our 18 county service area for 30 years. We work with other agencies that feed the hungry. We have about 510 partners. We provide 1 million meals a month out of our brand new facility in Blount County. And we have 6 different feeding programs where, depending on the program, we are providing food, again, to 18 counties. I would tell everybody that 95 cents of every dollar goes directly to the needy. And I would tell you that $1 provides 3 meals. But this is a worship service. So I'm going to turn the story a little bit, share about love, God's love, charity, hope, and all the things that come with feeding the hungry. So I've been doing this for 20 years plus, and in the nonprofit world, you have to meet a lot of people, and they always, whatever gatherings you go to. Elaine, where are you from? Well, I've lived in Knoxville since '83, but I'm not from here. I was born in Miami. We moved a lot, and we go from there. Well, the story's a little more complicated than that for me. I was born in Miami. My 3 siblings and I were all born there. My parents are both from Tennessee. Mom's from Chattanooga, Dad Lawrenceburg. But in the 50s, Miami was thriving. So the working class poor, a lot of people were going to Miami because hotels and jobs. They met and quickly married and quickly had 4 children. The challenge was my father was not very stable, and we moved more than not. I had 22 homes before I was 18, and I had 11 schools in 12 years. It was quite chaotic. But most important is that there were occasions when my family needed food. Both my parents worked, but sometimes my father's paycheck didn't make it home. So you choose rent, gas for your car to get to work, utilities, and then food is about the 4th level. It didn't happen often, but as a child, the anxiety and the apprehension of knowing what's going on in the house, because it was clear it wasn't running smoothly, it seared in my brain that if I could, I wanted to give back. My mother did 3 brilliant things. She was never a victim, a very strong woman. This is what life hands you, work with it, do it. Never a victim in any of the circumstances that we found ourselves in. She always found a Church of the Nazarene. Anybody's ever heard of it? But she always found it. You guys were laughing at me. I don't know when to stand because I was raised in one of these things. But it was my community, and I'm grateful because I did learn about God's love, and I did learn about hope and forgiveness and all of the things that Christ teaches. And the 3rd thing she did was endorse education. That would get us out of where we were. My parents did not have a high school diploma. So that college degree was the pot of gold behind the rainbow for my mother. And I did. I went to Trevecca Nazarene College in Nashville, and I graduated with a bachelor's with social work degree. Again, never knowing I would be directing a food bank, but so grateful that I am. My mother went on to do the same thing. She not only got her her bachelor's, but her graduate degree, and lived a great life. But it's not a happy ending, never is. One of my favorite books is The Road Less Traveled. What's the first sentence? Life is difficult, and it is. My siblings, my sisters and I, we all tried very much to do what we knew we needed to do to live good lives. My brother chose my dad's path, and he died of a crack addiction in '98. My heart goes out to CARM because we do provide food to CARM. We provide food to 550 agencies in 18 counties. Homelessness and addiction is it's just painful to watch. So if you are moved to help Carm, please do. Bert Rose and I are very good friends, and I love what he does. My mother passed away in 2008. It's just the pits when you lose your mom. But she looked at me and said, life is for the living, and it is. And so I'm living it and grateful to be able to provide 1 million meals a month in 18 counties. Grateful beyond grateful for that. I did leave the Church of the Nazarene. I couldn't deal with wearing shorts was going to send me to hell. I couldn't handle that. I'm not kidding. I do love them. I appreciate what they did for my family and I, but I'm not comfortable in this formal setting, I will tell you. But I'm not comfortable in that setting either. My girls were raised in the church of the Methodist Church. So, John said this. You guys ask questions in the service. That just cracks me up. But if anybody, and again, I want to say thank you. I see so many friends who support Second Harvest in so many ways, and I do thank you for that. John?
Yeah, and she will answer a couple of questions about hunger and poverty in our area if you'd like to ask. And so if you have a question, if not, that's okay, but if you have a question, she'll be glad to do that. We'll have some comments about how we're going to support Second Harvest these next weeks. Anybody? Speak it up, and I'll try to repeat it if I hear it.
Hi. Great question.
Yeah. Will you repeat the questions too?
Yes, yeah. Sir. How do we coordinate the food with the food stamp issue? Some of our clients probably get SNAP food stamps. Most of them don't. There isn't a lot of money a month that comes in that program. It's a supplement. But it depends on the agency that we provide food to on how they handle it. Some of the agencies we serve are very strict, and some are not. So that we don't get into the government. We don't get any government funding per se. We do get some USDA food, but it's, again, a supplement. 2 years ago, the demand for food increased 28%. So the 6 different feeding programs that Second Harvest has tried to work on the fact that the demand has gone up, and we have not been able to provide all the food to the needy in our 18 county service area. Thank you.
Other questions? Anybody else?
Any idea the average age of those that you help?
I do not. I know that the 200,000 that live at or below the poverty level in 18 counties, again, make $24,000 a year. Some are working poor. 47,000 of those are children. One of our programs is the Food for Kids Backpack Program, and there are 11,000 children in that. I don't know the average age, but I can tell you the senior demand for food has increased because of some of the situations they're in. And then also the children, because they're just caught up in such chaotic.
How do you find those that need help?
Well, again, it depends on the agency. Our Food for Kids program, we're, again, providing food to 11,000 children. The teachers identify them, so we don't get involved in any of that. We just buy the food and take it to the schools. There are 240 schools now in our Food for Kids program, and it's an 8-year-old program. So.
And Elaine, say something about the seniors. You said they get food during the week, but then weekends.
You mean the Food for Kids?
Yes,
okay,
and also for seniors as well.
Yes. So the mobile meals programs, they're fantastic to feed children Monday through Friday. If the child is on free and reduced lunch, they, of course, have Monday through Friday food. But on the weekends, we supplement it by buying the food, putting it in backpacks, and they take it home over the weekends. So the seniors do that, and then the kids do too.
Other questions? Anybody else? Yeah.
What are some of the volunteer opportunities?
Oh, good. What are volunteer
question.
opportunities at Second Harvest?
Great question. We have all kinds of opportunities. We get cans, and we need labels on them. Ingredients have to be put on the labels, but they're Steiners. We call them Shiners. We have all kinds of opportunities. We get cans, and we need labels on them. Ingredients have to be put on the labels, but they're Steiners. We call them Shiners. Ingredients have to be put on the labels, but they're Steiners. We call them Shiners. We have all kinds of opportunities. We get cans, and we need labels on them. Ingredients have to be put on the labels, but they're Steiners. We get a lot of, I spoke to the Sunday school, John's Sunday school class. We get a lot of CVS stuff. There's a CVS distribution center out west, and we get a bunch of stuff that has to be sorted. So it just depends on what comes in. In the summer, we get a lot of produce, same thing, a lot of sorting. And we are open in the evenings and on Saturdays for 10 and up about to sort food. I have good friends, Ellie and Bill, wherever they are. They want to bring their kids out. So it just depends on what we get in the warehouse that week.
Yes.
We do. Not as much as we used to, but one of our programs, the food rescue program, we pick up food from Kroger's, Food Cities, Walmart's, all the grocery industries. We picked up 7 million pounds just with that program, and we take it directly to Knox Area Rescue Ministries, for example. If we're picking up in Scott County, we take it to an agency in Scott County. We leave it in that county. So 7 million pounds of food we did keep out of the dumpster. We're very proud of that. That's how the whole network really started. But it's gotten a lot more complicated than that.
And those agencies don't pay for it.
That's right, and that's delivered free. Depending on the program, the agencies, the fish organization, they will buy food from us and pay 75% of what we spent, and we're trying to focus on what they need. Back in the old food bank days when I started, everything was donated. But that meant you didn't get what you needed, you just got what you got. And so we now buy peanut butter and beans and rice and all the other stuff that we purchase. We buy now, because we have this beautiful new facility in Blount County that I welcome all of you to come visit if you haven't. We'd love to show you around. It's a magnificent facility that, again, makes our efficiency rating so high. But we're buying cereal in totes, and people are putting the cereal in Ziploc bags, for lack of a better word. It's a lot cheaper than putting them in boxes. And it's a great thing. Everybody competes. How many bags did you do? You know, you make fun. I mean, you have fun doing it, so it's good.
Two questions over here. One is, what are your greatest needs right now? How would you address that?
Well, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but it's always financial. Again, $1 provides 3 meals, but we are buying a lot of food. The Food for Kids backpack program is $1 million a year just for that food. I had a great question in your Sunday school class. You were so cute. I get all these letters, and I'm sorry. My name's on the letter, and I'm asking you guys to support us, but we can do a lot with $1. We do have a lot of food drives. We love them, and if you don't want a letter, call me, and we'll take you off the mailing list, I promise. But funding is essential. And we, again, provide food to 550 agencies with your gifts. And they don't have to be large gifts. Another question?
No, that probably covered both. Any other questions? Anybody else?
Yes. Well, I mentioned Knox Area Rescue Ministries. The food we're providing them is essential to what CARM does. What I love about CARM and what Bert does is he does deal with the addiction illness and the mental health illness. And it is, as we all know, anybody driving down Broadway, it's huge. And I just, therefore, the grace of God, go I, is how I look at that. Some of those people can't work. They just can't. And I feel it's our responsibility to help them. I know you can judge that. I get that. You know, I judged my father for many years before I finally just forgave what he had to deal with, his illness. But I do feel it's our responsibility to help each other. And I'm grateful to this community for helping Second Harvest help everybody.
Elaine, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
So rather than make a knee-jerk reaction, I hope you'll think about what you would like to do. We're going to encourage, in fact, Elaine got an appointment. We're going to go see the bishop and start getting the Episcopal community more behind Second Harvest, because without Second Harvest, all the 500 agencies are going to be short on food. That's it. Second Harvest is the engine. So I hope you'll think about what you would like to do. We've handed some leaflets out. You can make your own donations. You don't need to go through St. John's. The money that we collect during this season, and we'll do it next Sunday, then Thanksgiving Day, and the Sunday afterwards, that's our tradition, is we're going to donate it on December 16th because, see, they double up on their money. So we'll collect all of our money. If you make the check out St. John's, we're going to give it Second Harvest, but we're going to pledge it on that day because they get an extra boost on that day, so they'll make more money at it. So I hope you really will think about your blessings, our blessings, and think about a response. And as Elaine said, think about a way that we can continue to share our love and our thoughts about our own deeds of loving kindness with the larger community. Thank you.